Back from his Japan sojourn, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs cabinet meeting. Ministers plan programs for future. In bizarre incident of shooting in US, gunman kills 19 children. President Biden orders flags to be flown at half-mast as mark of respect. Meghalaya Cabinet approves amendment to Secretarial Service rules. Minister of State for Railways discusses various development projects with Mizoram Governor and Chief Minister. And Assam Chief Minister inaugurates 2 schools in Sonitpur, says new era of education has started in tea states. A very good evening, viewers. Welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin. This is Ashutosh Sharma bringing to you the stories in detail. In national news first, Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in New Delhi on Tuesday night after participating in the Quad Leaders Summit as part of his 2-day tour in Japan. Besides Modi, the Quad Summit was attended by US President Joe Biden and Prime Ministers of Japan and Australia. During the summit, the leaders reiterated their shared commitment to a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific and the importance of upholding the principles of sovereignty, territorial integrity and peaceful resolution of disputes. On the sidelines of the summit, Prime Minister Modi had bilateral meetings with President Joe Biden and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. Meanwhile, Quad leaders have unequivocally condemned terrorism and violent extremism in all its forms and manifestations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a cabinet meeting after arriving in Delhi early morning today after a whirlwind tour of Japan. No time was wasted as he got to work immediately. Meanwhile, BJP's top leaders and ministers met to discuss and plan for the program to mark the 8 years of the Modi-led central government. In more national news, the union government has decided to put a cap on sugar exports to ensure domestic availability. Briefing media in New Delhi today, Union Food Secretary Sudhanshu Pandey said India's exports have reached a record high this season and now domestic availability has to be ensured during October-November as consumption increases in the festive season. He said the decision has been taken in view of the global situation which may trigger the demand for sugar. He said it should not be seen as a curb.
आपका जो निर्यात है चीनी का वो ऑल टाइम हाई होने वाला है और उसके बाद जो ग्लोबल सिचुएशन है उसमें शॉर्टेज होने की वजह से कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि जो आपकी कैपेसिटी है एक्सपोर्ट करने के उसके ज्यादा भी एक्सपोर्ट हो और आपकी डोमेस्टिक अवेलेबिलिटी कम हो जाए क्योंकि आपका वो लीन सीजन होता है उस समय शुगर मार्केट में नहीं होती है अगर पिछले सीजन की शुगर आपने नहीं बचा के रखी है.
In the United States, 19 children and 2 adults were killed on Tuesday in a shooting attack at an elementary school in southern state of Texas. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said earlier that the suspect has also died, adding that it is believed that the responding officers killed him. The governor said the suspect was a local resident of the city of Uvalde and was believed to have had a handgun and a rifle with which he shot the victims. US President Joe Biden ordered US flags to be flown at half-mast at the White House, military posts, naval vessels and US embassies as a mark of respect for the victims of the senseless act of violence. The small city of Uvalde is home to around 16,000 people, including a large Latino community.
Why are we willing to live with this carnage?
एक राष्ट्र के रूप में हमें पूछना होगा कि भगवान के नाम पर हम कब बंदूक की लॉबी के खिलाफ खड़े होंगे और हमें क्या करने की जरूरत है. माता पिता अपने बच्चों को फिर कभी नहीं देख पाएंगे.
Tripura Chief Minister Dr. Manik Saha, along with his wife Sapna Saha, called on President Ramnath Kovind at Rashtrapati Bhavan today. During his visit to New Delhi on the day, Dr. Saha also met Union Home Minister Amit Shah. The Chief Minister called on Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. Later in his tweet, the Defence Minister expressed his confidence that Dr. Saha will take his state forward on the road to progress and prosperity. In Meghalaya, the State Cabinet has approved the amendment to the Meghalaya Secretarial Services Rules 1992 with respect to the appointing authority for the posts of Superintendent, Under Secretary and Deputy Secretary. In series of tweets, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma informed that previously the appointing authority was the Governor, now it will be the Chief Secretary. In another decision, the Cabinet has approved the recategorization of brands for Indian-made foreign liquor due to change in rates in other neighbouring states, and in order to ensure more revenue for the state, the Cabinet has declassified different brands. Following this decision, the state will earn an additional revenue of 25 crore rupees. Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu today said the state government has brought about significant transformation and transparency in Arunachal Pradesh Staff Selection Board APSSB. Informing this in a tweet, Khandu said that in yet another step to strengthen the recruitment system, he inaugurated a new building for the APSSB at Itanagar today. In news from Mizoram, Minister of State for Railways and Textiles Darshana Jardosh, who is now on a 3-day visit to the state, called on Governor Hari Babu Kambanpati at Raj Bhavan today. The two discussed the progress of railway track construction in Mizoram and the huge potential the state has in the handloom industry. She also interacted with the state Chief Minister Zoramthanga at the latter's residence, where they discussed ways to boost Mizoram's textile industry.
We had a meeting and an Indian administration sits in. It is so virgin. But in 1947, India has to get independence. So, Mizoram.
In Assam, Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma today said access to education for all sections of the society is a priority of the state government. Inaugurating 2 such schools in Tejpur, Ghogra and Rupajuli tea estates in Sonitpur, he said that for the first time in 75 years, with a focus on the tea community, the government has set up Adarsh Vidyalayas for their children.
ৰঙাপাৰা সমষ্টিৰ মাননীয় বিধায়ক কৃষ্ণ কোমল তাঁতী
সমগ্ৰ অসমতে আজি ৯৬খন চাহ বাগিচাৰ বিদ্যালয় উচ্চ মাধ্যমিক বিদ্যালয়ৰ আৰম্ভণি হ'ব। অসমৰ শৈক্ষিক জগতত আগতে কেতিয়াও এনেকুৱা হোৱা নাছিল আৰু মই ভাবোঁ যে এই দিনটো সমগ্ৰ অসমবাসীৰ বাবে আৰু অসমৰ বৌদ্ধিক জগতখনৰ বাবে এটা স্মৰণীয় দিন হৈ ৰ'ব।
In Assam, Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi today administered the oath of office to retired bureaucrat Alaka Bhargav and academician Dr. Padma Sharma as new members of the Assam Public Service Commission APSC at a ceremony at the Darbar Hall of Raj Bhavan. State Chief Secretary Jishnu Borua initiated the proceedings of the ceremony. APSC Chairman Rajiv Kumar Bora, members of APSC and several government officers were among those present on the occasion.
India
and allegiance to the Constitution of India
as by law established.
as by law established. I, Dr. Padma Sharma,
Having been appointed as member of the Assam Public Service Commission,
having been appointed as member of the Assam Public Service Commission,
do swear in the name of God
do swear in the name of God
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the Constitution of India
and allegiance to the Constitution of India
In Meghalaya, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma today launched a project to upgrade local nondescript cattle by crossbreeding with Ongol breed to enhance cattle population and beef production with the mission to achieve self-reliance with a transformation of rural economy through livestock intervention initiative. In a series of tweets, Sangma said, F1 male calf bred in the Indo-Danish project site at Upper Shillong will be supplied to the model villages for crossing with local cattle. He handed over F1 male calves to 12 model villages across the state with the aim to enhance meat production. In IPL cricket, Lucknow Super Giants will take on Royal Challengers Bangalore in an eliminator match at Eden Gardens, Kolkata at 7:30 p.m. this evening. Last night, Gujarat Titans stormed into the final, beating Rajasthan Royals by 7 wickets in the first quarter qualifier match at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. Rajasthan Royals will now face the winners of the eliminator match between Lucknow Super Giants and Royal Challengers Bangalore in the second qualifier, which will be held on Friday evening at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, while the title clash will also be played at the same venue on Sunday evening. In Manipur, the state-level Shiroi Lili Festival 2022 got underway today. The annual festival is organized by the Department of Tourism, Government of Manipur, with an aim to create and raise awareness of Shiroi Lili flower, which is also the state flower of Manipur. Different events including traditional dances, songs and music, trekking, beauty contests, indigenous games and sports will be organized at different sites in Ukhrul district. In Assam, various social organizations, including the Child Welfare Committee and Assam State Commission for Protection of Child Rights, have expressed serious concern over the rise in anti-social activities and atrocities against children and women in Kokrajhar district and urged the state government to take stern action against those involved. Chairperson of Child Welfare Committee, Kokrajhar, Malati Rani Narzari, said there has been a steep rise in the incidents of rape and sexual abuse of minor girls in the last few months. The Bharatiya Janata Party, All Coach Rajbangshi Students Union, Bengali Federation and other student bodies too condemned the incident. A joint memorandum was submitted to Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, demanding stringent action and punishment against the culprits involved.
আমি অনুভৱ কৰিব পাৰিছো কাৰণ প্ৰশাসনে যেতিয়া হিহঁতক এৰেষ্ট কৰিব গৈছিল এৰেষ্ট কৰিব যোৱাতে তাতে ছকা অস্ত্ৰৰে মানে আগৰি ধৰিছিল তো অতি মানে লজ্জাজনক কথা কাৰণ এতিয়া এনেকা হৈছে আমি খিলঞ্জিয়াই বৰ্তমান খিলঞ্জিয়া ঘৰত সুৰক্ষিত নহয় তাৰ কাৰণে আমি অসমৰ মাননীয় মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰী ডক্টৰ হিমন্ত বিশ্ব শৰ্মা ডাঙৰীয়াক এটা কথাই ৰিকুৱেষ্ট কৰিব বিচাৰিছো খিলঞ্জিয়াৰ যাতে অস্তিত্ব ৰখাৰ কাৰণে আমি
For more updates, viewers can also watch our bulletins and other programs on our YouTube channel DD News Guwahati. To end the news, the main points once again. Back from his Japan sojourn, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs cabinet meeting. Ministers plan programs for future. In bizarre incident of shooting in US, gunman kills 19 children. President Biden orders flags to be flown at half-mast as mark of respect. Meghalaya Cabinet approves amendment to Secretarial Service rules. Minister of State for Railways discusses various development projects with Mizoram Governor and Chief Minister. And Assam Chief Minister inaugurates 2 schools in Sonitpur, says new era of education has started in tea states. That brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.